He wants to play for the Cleveland Browns. He wants to play for the Cleveland Browns. He wants to play for the Cleveland Browns.
Had to turn the YouTube volume down. That joint was coming back.
The feedback on that joint was crucial.
It was late.
Oh shit! Yeah, there you go.
Let's see.
God, that should be on. Take them keys back upstairs, girl. God damn.
I'm gonna tag you in this.
Oh, we live now?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Hey, we in the building.
Ain't nobody looking at it yet. All right.
All good. All good.
I'm gonna tag you in the Twitter joint so you can share it. Come on, man, paste.
Muted.
I just tweeted it to you. Let me record it. Record here. You ready to rock? Or you gonna?
Let's get it, folks.
All right. All right. Welcome back to another episode. Let's see, I was about to do Kings of the Ring again. It's all good. Welcome back to a brand spanking new episode of the DND Football Podcast. Of course, you got me, DH, and we got my man DA. DA, what up?
What it do, folks? Let's get it.
Hey, listen, man, we're live on YouTube right now. Okay. So you want to watch this episode live and in person, you can go to DND Football Pod on YouTube and check it out. The DND Football Podcast, the DND Football Podcast live on YouTube. What's up to everybody on Twitter that's watching, everybody watching on YouTube, everybody watching wherever you are. And if you're listening right now on this podcast, which will be available right after we're done, because that's how we work, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you for tuning in. Also, while you're listening and tuning in, if you love this podcast, make sure you share it with a friend. And if you feel so inclined, you can leave us a review and you might get your
5 seconds of fame.
That's it. That's all. We appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. Let's get to it, man. Listen, Lee, let me say something real quick before we begin, bro. Right?
Hey, let's get it. What you got?
the NFL has found its way to be a story throughout the calendar year, bro. Every day is something new. Every day is somebody else being moved, a splash being made. And today, while we were all minding our business on a Friday, the Friday news dump just came out. Deshaun Watson got traded to the Browns.
The Browns?
The Browns? Are you kidding me?
Where did that come from?
Let me tell you something. It came from a Brinks truck because he's now going to get $230 million. Yeah,
Guaranteed.
I wish I had the Charles Barkley sound. I guarantee. Slim, 5 years, $230 million. Let's get your immediate reaction. Lee, what did you think when you heard the news that Deshaun Watson has been traded to the Cleveland Browns?
Immediately, I'm a Cowboys fan, right? So my first thought was, Stephen Jones, you screwed the pooch. You thought Coop was going to go over there and his career was going to flutter with Baker Mayfield. And they pulled Watson out the hat, bruh. That just backfired on the Cowboys big time. Outside of that, Watson and Cleveland with that run game, with Coop, with that lineup that they got over there in that offense, dog, the AFC is like lit right now. The AFC is the place to be. The AFC West and the AFC North is kind of taking that turn right now with this move right here. I like it. I like the move. It's a sexy pickup.
It's crazy when you look at it on paper, right? Like the AFC is just stacked from top to bottom. And then especially, I mean, Deshaun Watson was already in that mix, but to go in a different division, like even in his immediate division alone, him, Lamar Jackson, and then Joe Burrow, you know what I mean? Like just that right there. I mean, when 3/4 of your division is nasty, you know, it's going to be a tough out every week, man. And then, you know, I'm not taking anything away from Mitch, but a lot is yet to be seen with Mitch. But bruh, like this season is gonna be ridiculous, man. I was talking today on Twitter. Of course, you can follow me at DHMVJOR. Shameless plug. But I mentioned it earlier, bro. 10 wins might not do it. 10 wins might not get the job done, bro.
Especially need 12,
bro. And I mean, and I think it's set up to have like. It's going to be one or two teams might win 14 games, right? And then it's going to be 13, 12, 11, and 10, like for like 6 to 7 teams, bro, just crunched in the middle. You know what I mean? So some of them 10-win teams might not be able to get in just because of the schedule and just the competition level. That's my screen gone. Just because of the competition level this year. So it's just wild. And I know when I heard the news come out, bro, like first of all, the fact that he was traded, right? Okay, cool.
We knew that was coming though. We knew that was coming.
Exactly. We knew it was coming, but we didn't know it was to the Browns because the Browns did their due diligence as every team should do. And they went and talked to him and said, hey, you know, what'd you think about it? And as of yesterday, the Browns were off his list. Apparently, from what I knew, it was the Falcons and the Saints. Okay. And that was going to be it. So everybody was like, oh, it's to the Falcons. He's definitely going to the Falcons. And then the Browns, of course, kept courting him. And then, of course, it didn't help nothing that Baker was like, yeah, I'm ready to leave. You know, I guess he was calling their bluff like, bro, we'll move on from you in a minute, especially if we can get somebody 10 times better than you.
You want to leave us?
Thank you.
Okay. I'm reloaded.
Right. And then, you know, he gets traded to the Browns. And then, but see, that's not the thing. Like we figured he was going to get traded. But then when I saw what he got traded for, and then I saw as far as the contract details. So he got traded for a first round pick this year. And then all the picks are in, multiple first.
Two first.
So first this year and the first next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I'm like, okay, for anybody else, like you got to pony up like 1 through 3, like this year. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they gave up a third and a fifth too.
But what is that though? Really?
Hey, bro, that's big.
I mean, but okay.
I mean, think about it. Houston was not going to keep. He did not want to stay in Houston. Houston wasn't going to keep him. They got the max for him and got the contract off their hands.
No, definitely. I agree with that. But the Bears got away. The Browns got away with a steal, bro. Like only having
and they still got Baker in their back pocket.
They still
to trade him away.
And I don't even think they care about the value on him now. They just be like,
why? Give me a second round pick. You can have him.
Yeah. And then the money came out, right? The Browns are gonna pay this man $230 million with the M guaranteed over the next 5 seasons. We've been talking about this over the past couple episodes that the Kirk Cousins deal was supposed to start the wave, right? And for him, it did. Like, he's still getting paid.
Oh boy, Kirk is the bag. You hear me?
But I think this deal really will start to train up. Look, man, we got to go NBA style where all these dollars need to be guaranteed. And then it's so much more than the next closest deal. Aaron Rodgers is getting 151 million guaranteed. Bro, it's 230, bro. And I'm gonna get to Aaron Rodgers in a minute. But just when I looked at the compensation that they're gonna pay Deshaun, and then also what they gave up to get him, I mean, the Browns came out like bandits, bro. Like,
I mean, but think about it, bro. Look how many first round picks they've wasted on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years alone.
Yeah.
Right. And you just muzzled all that up in the one pick for a marquee franchise quarterback.
Facts.
Coming off a year rest. And how do you come off a year rest and get that much guaranteed, bro? Like your whole contract, though?
Bro, I guess
where they do that at?
What he did beforehand, bro. Like, and it,
bro,
like,
he coming off a 4-12 season before this contract.
Hey,
like, yo, and hey, I'm not hating. Deshaun, get your bag, bro. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, if he does not win a champion, if you don't get to an AFC championship with this contract, where does that leave, like, your thoughts on Deshaun? Is it going to be, well, this organization has always been a dumpster fire, or is it going to be, well, we thought you were going to be the guy and you just ain't it? What's the narrative that's going to play with this money situation?
I mean, more or less, I think that the hype train is there. And I feel like he definitely has to take them further than Baker did last year when they beat the Steelers for a playoff game. Like, he has to take them further than that, which I think he will do. It's going to be tough in the AFC in general, but I think he'll be able to at least get them to an AFC championship game. I'm not out here, and that's the funny part. Like, when you mention he's coming to the Browns, nobody is saying Super Bowl. Like, nobody is saying that at all. It's just
expectation is not there.
Exactly.
Why?
It's making it. I mean, but I think that comes with the stigma of being the Browns. Like,
true.
They don't expect anything from you until you get to that point and then don't get it. So, like, those years when they lost to the Broncos in the AFC Championship game in the 80s,
right?
They expected those Browns teams to be good, and they weren't good enough. Those couple years in the early 2000s where was it Tim Couch took him to a playoff game?
Yeah,
that may have been it. And then after that, it was just quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. You know what I mean? So I feel like he definitely will take them far. How far, that'll be left to be determined. But
hey, Atlanta though, they had him. He was like there for him. Like
I found a tweet.
I feel like Atlanta is like the girl at the dance who just gets left. Like, you get all dressed up, you know what I mean? You looking fresh, you looking clean. You show up to the dance and you there by yourself. Like, you lost in the Super Bowl. Uncanny loss in the Super Bowl.
Look,
they were just can't win.
They were having a good time, or at least she thought they were having a good time.
And then Cinderella happened.
Dude went to the bathroom and never came back. Okay, like, that's what happened, bro. They thought they was having a good time.
Yo, my man came, ate all the food, and left you with the tab, yo.
Hey, bro, let me tell you, I saw a tweet from Schultz Report on Twitter. It's Jordan Schultz. He said, here's what happened with Deshaun Watson. The Falcons believed they had him. They really did. This morning, however, the Browns made it clear to Deshaun Watson that they'd pay him what he was worth as one of the premier players in the league, a true franchise cornerstone.
Give me what I'm worth. I like that, bro. I'll take it. I mean, all that means is they offered him the most money. That's what that all boils down to.
I wonder if he came up. I wonder if they threw that number out there. Like, if his team threw that out there, or if he was like, this is what I want to get paid.
Hey, if I'm negotiating, why not? I throw it out there.
But I think for it to be so much higher than Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, though, that's like, and it's all guaranteed. So I want to see how that cap is going to be structured.
They said he's only making $1 million this year.
Well, I mean,
They said they got it. Bro, that's crazy how you can manipulate that.
Oh, man, the salary cap is a joke, bro. I don't want to hear nobody ever, especially my team. Don't ever talk about the salary cap.
Don't worry, we're gonna get to the Cap Boys and
the Dallas Cap Boys. Absolutely, that's what I call them, the Cap Boys.
We're gonna get to the Cap Boys and we're gonna get to the Commanders. But I really want to hit this Aaron Rodgers situation. And before we do, I want to thank everybody for tuning in right now on YouTube Live. I appreciate you. Of course, if you're watching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate you. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. If you feel so inclined to leave us a review, you can get your 5
seconds of fame.
And then, of course, while you're at it, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can always hit up the DND Football Pod at gmail.com. Once again, that's DND Football Pod at gmail.com. And if you're in the chat, man, definitely do that. Ed, what's up, man? He said now his agent is about to get all the clients for that fully guaranteed contract. Absolutely. Hey,
I'm signing up. Hey, boss.
If there's 2 agents in the NFL that you want right now, you want Deshaun Watson's agent and you want Kirk Cousins' agent.
The bag, okay? The bag boys. That's what I'm calling them. They're the bag boys.
Slim, if there's 2 agents in the NFL that you want, okay, it's not Drew Rosenhaus no more. It's not Tom Condon no more. It's not none of them guys, okay? It's whoever Deshaun Watson's agent is.
Find him now.
Slim. Right now. Just don't get me started with my Rick Flair.
Right now. Run me my money.
You want to know why? You want to find right now. 16. No, let me stop. All right, 16. Let's keep it going, man. I want to talk about another big move that happened on Thursday. Like I said, bro, it's as the NFL turns, bro. Every day
it's a soap opera.
Every day. It's much. It's so much so that, bro, I talked to our guy Mike Callow earlier today. Shout out Mike Callow.
Mike.
ESPN 630. He's doing the Caps post game show right now. So he was going to come on, but he couldn't be on. He's doing the Caps post game show. But I talked to Mike earlier and I said, yo, nobody's talking about March Madness like that. Nobody's talking about the NBA like that. Hockey and all the other sports are getting their same regular run. Even with baseball finishing, closing the lockout and getting ready to come back soon. Nobody's talking about that. The NFL has taken over the news cycle for all 7 days and all 12 months out of the year. They are making this. I wonder if they hold it. It's like, yo, hold this trade to tomorrow because we got another one that's finna drop. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if they like finessing it like that.
Hey, I wouldn't be shocked, bro. I wouldn't be shocked. Goodell over there, like, all right, y'all gonna do this because they got to submit the trade to the NFL first. Right. So they're probably like, yeah, hold on for that one tomorrow. We need some press release for tomorrow.
Right. And see, and it's crazy, bro, because we were planning on doing mock drafts for this episode. We were planning on doing mock drafts. We had everything else set up. We was like, yeah, all right, we got like everything should be done. All the major stuff should be done. We're gonna get ready into drafts, bro. And do. And I'm like, shout out to the news coming up. Bro, these Friday news notes have been coming in handy, bro.
I love it. Good content.
It's ridiculous.
Thank you for the content, NFL.
Thank you, NFL. But let me get to this. So I said all that to say yesterday, Davante Adams got traded from the Green Bay Packers to the Las Vegas Raiders to be reunited with his homeboy, his old quarterback, Derek Carr. Listen, when this deal dropped, whole lot of speculation went out. Because I was curious. I was like, I thought that was Aaron Rodgers' man. I thought that was his boy. But he was like, nah, fam, I'm finna go play with my man from college. So Lee, let me ask you. See, I gotta get my words right. I'm on live now. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you your reaction to that trade yesterday when the trade actually went down. And what was your perception of the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, one of the best receivers in the NFL?
I'm going to say this. For me, I took it as when Aaron got paid, Davante was on his way out because Aaron has always asked like his top player, hey, man, take a little discount, give a little back, and, we can make some moves happen. What does Aaron do? Go out and gets the biggest contract that he can get when he's already under contract. So you taking away more money from the team, and I'm going to be left with scraps. So they want me to play on the franchise tag at 20 when I'm really worth closer to 30, right? So you're going to make me do this 1 year. What if I get hurt? There's nothing really guaranteed outside of that. As I'm getting old in the league. So you take the big piece of the pie again and left a little bit of scraps, and the team is already reeling, bro. We already got real bad cap issues from you. So for me, I was like, hey, this was a great move for Devontae. I get to go to Vegas. They got a new stadium. My jersey gonna sell big. Good marketing and publicity for me. And I'm back with Derek. Me and Derek real cool. We got a good rapport. He can throw the deep ball. That's what I'm good at. Let's go.
So here's the thing with this move, right? And then also Aaron Rodgers came out with comments afterwards where he was like, he felt some type of way because he said he wasn't gonna play on the tag. Bruh.
Get out of here with that.
He is and listen, right? I'm an equal opportunity guy. I want everybody to get their bread, right? But you can't cry wolf, bro, because he's been saying the same stuff, like, mad at guys for being selfish when he's the main.
You selfish, bro. You ain't playing on no tag. Get out of here.
He held up the NFL offseason he had the NFL offseason by the neck, bro.
While he was under contract. I can see if he was a free agent. I can see if he was in the last year of his deal. He still got years left on that deal. Like, bro, how do you do that?
None of these moves could be made until he decided what he was going to do. And then once he decided what he was going to do, at that point in time, he became the richest player in the league at $151 million over the next 3 seasons. Like, bruh, okay, cool, we get it. Yeah, you're good. I mean, you got 1 Super Bowl. Some could argue that he should have more. But you got 1 Super Bowl, you holding the league, you holding your team over the coals and expecting them to just be like, all right, cool, we gonna eat it. But bruh, Gutekunst after last year, right, was like, fam, we can't just wait. Like, bro, like, we get you, like, you've been a great quarterback for us, but we just cannot hold up our process for what you want and how you want to do things. So they allowed him, they said after last year, they said they were gonna let him take his time, make his decision. And then they were going to go about his business. He made his demands, whatever. He came back. Now he got paid. He got the bread. Okay, cool. And then Devontae was like, fam, I'm not playing on this 1-year franchise tag. Anything could happen. My value could go down. And I'm one of the best receivers in the league. I should be getting paid that way. So what do? Packers like, well, no problems with me, bro. Trade you to the Raiders. Traded him to the Raiders. And even with the speculation, remember we were talking early, like, will Carr get traded? No, they like Carr. Carr ain't going.
They love Carr out there.
So they traded him to the Raiders for a first and a second, which is great compensation. And then he was able to go play where he wanted. And then on top of that, reports came out that the Packers offered him more than what he was finna make with the Raiders.
He did not want to be there no more. Bro, you got to understand, Aaron Rodgers is not the most likable person in America. Period, right? So on top of it, my man, whole family don't even rock with the dude like that. Just he move, right? So you got your leader who doesn't even rock with like the people closest to him, who constantly like almost stabs people in the back in a sense about this money. You think I want to be there? And it's cold as hell in Lambeau. Like, nah, bro. Give me the desert. I'll take Vegas any day over Lambeau.
Bro, I was telling wifey earlier today, I was like, would you rather live in Nevada or Wisconsin?
Nevada. Quickly.
I mean, without question, bro. Without question.
Bro, that stadium, that crowd, man. The Raiders gang is like, I mean, I know Green Bay fans are loyal, but Raiders fans are on a whole nother level, bro. We got cosplay and all types of stuff over there with that fan base. And they live and they lit. So, you playing for a team like that where they want to see you win, they want to see you do well, and they gonna root for you for real, and they travel a little bit. Yeah, man, you want to go be with the fun group.
I mean, it's odd. Like, then for him to have a reaction he had, well, he thought it was selfish that he didn't want to play on the tag. But I'm like, bro, like, no, you're not gonna. And I appreciate the Packers for taking a stand. Like, fam, we can't do what you want to do. Okay, you got your bread. Shut up. Take this bread and play. And for real, if I'm the Packers, I trade Jordan Love. Like, because I think the jury is still out on him. I think they can still pull a 2nd-round pick for him right now.
I don't know about no second. You might get a mid day 3 pick, like round 4.
I think you can get a 2nd. Because some
teams get a 2nd.
Yep. Because I'm gonna tell you what happened.
The Minnesota game.
All these teams have been left out of this mix. Okay, the teams like New Orleans, Atlanta,
Jameis, Matt Ryan ain't going away.
But I'm just saying, teams that want to try to make a splash and see if they can get somebody that's already has some league experience. That's really kind of like you really don't know yet. The jury's still out. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he could garner a second round pick. Now he might not get traded for that. He might not get traded at all. But I wouldn't be surprised if he can garner a second round pick. But
I need insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
I need insurance. And with Rodgers already being the way that he is, I need somebody on the team who can keep that wide receiver room having a little bit of fun outside of Aaron. So I think, and Love did, he wasn't as successful, but he had some wins with them last season when Aaron went out. So
I mean, just overall, like I appreciate Devontae for going on about his business, going to get his bag, and going to play where he want to play, bro. Like that's to me, like that's good. That's what you go do. And then on top of that, the Packers saying, "Fam, we're not about to just let you run this. Like you're not about to run what we're gonna do. We got to do what we got to do because." We need to get some capital. We need to move on toward the future. And that's what they're doing. They got to move on towards the future. And this is how they start that. So I appreciate that, man. And then, okay, we said all that, right? The AFC is stacked, right? The NFC is looking, I'm not going to say weak, but the NFC is looking
weak, bruh. Weak, bruh. It looked like AFC got the whole Pro Bowl roster right now, bruh.
Man, it's so crazy. It's so crazy to watch it. So let's do this. Let's transition into the NFC. Okay. Before we talk about your Cowboys, and I'm gonna give you the floor so you can do it. Because hey, y'all, listen, let me tell you something. Every week, the resident Cowboy fan, DA, and I'm the resident Commander fan. We get along, it's my boy, been boys since middle school, so we tight.
Boy.
So I let him have the floor, let him gripe.
Let
No. I let you have the floor, and you can have your commentary, and I back off the mic. I let you get it out.
We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. That's not how this podcast works, bro.
You're not gonna do it.
I share my insight on the Commandees, and you share your insight on my Cowboys. That's how it works.
Okay, so I guess you don't have anything to gripe over today about the Cowboys.
No, I got a lot to say about my Cowboys. I mean, I know you don't have no current news about your squad, but I got tons of news about what we're not doing.
So let me not say I'll be quiet as you said you speak. So real quick, y'all. Of course, if you're listening, tuning in right now, we appreciate you. Make sure you hit up that comment section. You can like, subscribe, and share everywhere we're listening. If you feel so inclined, leave us a review. You can get your 5 seconds of fame. And we appreciate you for tuning in, man. We appreciate you tuning in. So let's keep it moving. Lee, give us your commentary about the
don't sound all dry like that, bro. Don't even do me like that. Try to rehash that one. Bring that one back. Run that one back.
All right, Darnell, you want to play a game? It's called What Are the Cowboys Doing?
Nothing. That's what the hell we're doing. Look at this, man. This is life for me. Do you hear me? These are my 2 right here. And Stephen Jones is slowly destroying my team. And I get it. Everybody is yelling about cap space, not having cap space. Look, the cap is a myth. It is a myth. It is a myth. Any agent will tell you if they want you, they will sign you. They will move mountains to move that cap space to get you there. So any team saying, "Oh, we don't have cap space. Oh, we signed a quarterback, so we don't have any," it's bull, bruh. I just watched the Saints, who was like negative 50+ million in the hole, just clear like 80 million in cap space.
The fact that they were able to even start the season last year. Like
with negative and it's technically supposed to be a hard cap. So at no point should you be negative. That's the thing that the fans miss. At no point should you be negative. But they started free agency negative. They were in the season, mid-season, negative. Doesn't matter, bro. That's bull. But for my team, we were the last team to sign an external free agent. That's the news headline for us today. The last team in the league to sign someone outside of our team. You know how depressing that is? We watching all these deals fly off the table, all these players that we know are in talks with the Cowboys, but really they're not because you're not making an offer on them. Then we have all these interviews from our players like DeMarcus Lawrence coming out and Jaron Kurtz coming out, basically saying that Steven is offering peanuts. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what is all this cap space you trying to monopolize?
Let me ask you, are you really like Is it more blown up just because of what everybody else is doing? Like, do you really
Nah,
feel
it's not. We do this every year, D. This ain't like new to me. Like we have not been a major free agent player since Brandon Carr was signed almost 10 years ago, bruh. Like that's the last major deal that we did, and he got like a 4-year, $50 million deal or somewhere along that. That's the last deal that we made of a franchise guy. And for me, like him being signed to free agency, I don't think he should have gotten that much just in general because he was the number 2 in Kansas City when he came over. He wasn't like the number 1 lockdown corner. He was the 2 guy. Like I shouldn't know all this stuff, but I do. But at the same point, that's the last major deal that we made. So here we are again, allowing all these big name players to just walk away. We don't even offer anything. Von Miller, yeah, he mentioned us, but that's a ploy. That's a ploy from Von.
Had to mention that.
Yeah, that's a ploy to get your value up a little. But look, every major name they mention us, their value goes up. Cowboys are interested in so and so, then they sign somewhere else for like some mega deal. It happens every year. But I am tired of us shopping at the Dollar Tree for discount double check players, bro.
Okay. Let me offer an alternate perspective. Okay, from outside looking in, do you feel as though they are able to let guys walk and maybe not sign guys because they do draft fairly well? Would you agree with that?
We draft fairly well in the early stages of the draft. And most recently, like our last draft class was really good, even late on day 3. But for the most part, our 5th round picks are not even making the team. Our 6th round picks are barely making the team. And them 7th round picks, man, if they're not on the practice squad, they're not with us. So your day 3 picks are not really hashing out for you in a great way.
4th, right?
Yeah, he was a 4th, and he was like a compensatory pick at the end. Like, so we lucked up and got Dak. Thank God.
The exception to the rule.
Yeah, because they wanted Paxton Lynch and some other goofies. They didn't even want Dak, but they lucked up and got him. So you can tell how their player evaluation works. So, I'm just really at the point where it's like building a team is not just giving out 1-year deals every single free agency. You can't build a team that way. Because you have a guy. He comes in. If he does great, like Robert Quinn did, has a phenomenal. You're not going to sign him because he didn't outmatch the market. Give him a 2-year deal, 3-year deal, something, and then stop all this 1-year shopping in the trash can, bro. Like, and granted, today we signed James Washington, right? James Washington, wide receiver, Pittsburgh, more of a deep threat. He can stretch the field a little bit. Not a burner, but he got some moves he can get behind you. Cool.
Definitely a downgrade.
Is that an upgrade over Amari Cooper?
No.
Is that close to the value of Amari Cooper?
Not even.
No. But the Gallup signing is supposed to like put you in that direction, right? Gallup's not even going to start the season. He tore his ACL, so he's not coming back until like maybe the second half of the season, or at least past the first quarter of the season. So You bring in James Washington. He's gonna be a gadget guy in this offense that's super vertical. And it's like, bro, what are we doing, bro? Like, we don't want to win. You see the Rams go out. What do? They go get a superstar. They go get a playmaker. What did Kansas City do? They go get Juju. Do they need Juju? Nah. But they got Juju. You match Juju with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Bruh, teams fear that.
Nicole Hardman, DeAnthony Thompson.
Teams fear that. With CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, who's not going to play, and James Washington.
Then y'all cut La'el Collins.
Then La'el gets cut yesterday. Like, and we knew that was coming. The tea leaves had already shaken that one out. But I'm like, well, we did that to save another $10 million. For what? Oh, well, we got to sign CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee's on a 5-year deal. You going to wait till the last minute to sign that one. We got to save money for Micah Parsons. Bruh, that deal is 4 years away. Why are we worried about money for Parsons 4 years from now?
Need to worry about wins now, bro.
Can we worry about now? Can we try to win a championship now? You just taking like 6 starters from Dak and let them walk. And y'all going to blame Dak when we don't win games.
Bro.
And you're not going to look at the front office and say, what are y'all doing? Y'all didn't give him anything to work with. And you expected him to be a top 3 quarterback in the league. Thank God the money didn't came down, because some fans are going to forever hold the money over his head.
So let me ask you this. So you mentioned earlier today that Amari balling out in Cleveland is going to reflect negatively on Dak Prescott.
Yes,
Can you go
because of
ahead?
the front office.
Okay, yeah, go into detail and explain to where you get that from, because I'm curious as to how his performance will affect that.
I'll say this. All right. They traded Coop for a fifth. That diminishes Coop's value. What did they do? They talked trash about him, said he gave up on the team, said he quit on plays. They lowered his own value on purpose. And so then some segments that came out on the radio this week basically saying that they had a little vendetta against him. So trading him for a fifth made him look like he was less than what he was really worth. Cool. He gets Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, Devin Stefanski, they're going to come together and they're going to have a legit plan for getting Amari Cooper the ball. What does Dallas do? Wide receiver by committee. We don't let one guy dictate our targets. We let the defense dictate what we do. So in our system, it's not about giving one wide receiver volume reps. You're not building in 10 targets a game for Amari Cooper. Coop came out and said himself, they don't game plan for me to be in the game. So I know I'm not going to be targeted in the game. So my number one receiver is not being treated like one based on the system that we run. When he goes to Cleveland, they're going to treat him like a number one. He's going to get those targets. He's going to get anywhere from 8 to 12 targets a game consistently. He had like 3 games where he was targeted more than 10 times with us this season. Like, what are y'all doing? You don't even use your playmakers. You use your system. So that's going to reflect on Dak because the conversation is going to now be, well, look what Watson did with Amari Cooper. Look at what he got out of Amari Cooper. And he's going to ball out because they're going to feature him. We didn't feature Coop this past season. And that's what they're hanging at this past season. Like, Coop didn't show up when Dak was down and he got 1,000 yards with a bunch of bums throwing him the ball. Or like he didn't have 1,000 yards the year before that with Dak. So, like, how y'all try to, like, devalue your own players, bro, it bugs me, bro. It bugs me. But this is free agency with the Dallas Cowboys. All the dysfunction in the world. Every single year. This is why we can't win. You can't build a culture that wins like this, bro. You can't. We no different than the Jaguars right now, in my opinion.
And the Jaguars making moves. At least they're trying to.
Trying, bro. Do something to try to win. Now that Deshaun's out of the division, y'all got a clear shot. Carson got trade. Ooh, I know the Colts are mad now. I think they might have buyer's remorse with that trade now.
Well, of course, but I mean, the reports are that Baker has mentioned that he wants to go there. He wants to go to Indianapolis.
I don't want Baker.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I mean, because I don't. Yeah. And then of course he's in his last year, so wherever we go, he would be trying to ball out because he wants to get to a second contract and get paid.
Send him to New York. Let him come over here.
Let the defense eat him up twice.
Yes, sir. I love to play Baker twice a year.
Shout out to everybody tuning in right now on YouTube Live. We appreciate you. Do us a favor while you're watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. The DND Football Podcast on YouTube. It'll be a whole lot more content coming to that page. It'll be these episodes. It'll be some quick hits throughout the week, man. Breaking news, emergency podcast, a lot of different stuff coming down the pipeline. So get here first, so you can say that you were here before we blew up, and we'll really appreciate that. Also, man, if you're listening right now to the podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. If you feel so inclined, leave us a 5-star review. You can get your
5 seconds of fame.
That's it. That's all we needed, man. We appreciate it. We starting on this new show media journey, man, and we want to keep it going as long as possible. And also all those sponsors out there, if you'd like a product displayed behind me, Lee has a blank wall behind him. We can definitely
I'm just waiting for you.
It's a nice clean space on either side of your head. Okay, we can go ahead and put something up, and we can get you paid businesses. All right, you know what I'm saying? So we'll get that going too. Let's discuss the Commanders. Of course, you're a resident Commanders fan here.
Let's get it.
I watched this press conference earlier this week. He came out with the burgundy gold look. Yeah, you didn't like it, but
that joint look cheesy.
So look, he said he had that jacket from college because he went to North Dakota State. That their colors are green and gold, so he had that through the burgundy. I was like, oh, Oh, he coming in looking fly. Okay, my man.
That was
Came
not
up.
fly, bro.
Hey, listen, he my quarterback. He was getting peppered with the questions. He gave some good answers. And I think he was truthful in what he said. It was one where they mentioned, I forget who asked the question, but they asked, you basically failed on your duties there. And he said, it was both ways. It was, they didn't feel like, certain things about me, and I probably could have done better XYZ. But he mentioned what he said, and he talked good, and he was like, look, this is what it is. I'm here. I want this to work. And I'm like, bro, I'm on board. Okay, I'm on board. We recorded a whole emergency podcast the day that the trade happened because we were like, bro,
To talk you off a ledge, bro.
I was ready to jump.
I had to talk you off a ledge. Hey, but I gotta say this first. That's the closest to a Hall of Fame jacket that man gonna get.
If he win us a Super Bowl, bro,
stop. That man need to wear all burgundy blazers from now on. All right, no more gold joints.
I actually appreciated that he didn't show up like Russell. Came in there with the blue suit, the orange tie, the classic Russell Wilson.
Hey, bro, that's classic, bro.
It was clean though. Clean.
He was clean.
Hello, my name is Russell Wilson. I'm your new quarterback.
Slick the hair back, yo.
Bro, he looked Spanish on that.
Hey, Sierra got that man ready. You hear me?
Hey,
she got my man wrecked.
Slim. We get into that another time. But Carson
came a long way from the Hawaiian shirt. You hear me?
Right, in that draft picture, you remember his other old lady? Yeah, I'm coming to Seattle. Bro, it's crazy. We having fun, y'all. We having fun. But Carson sounded really good in the press conference. He gave good contrite answers. And I say this: Washington got out there early and was like, look, we need a quarterback. We're putting out fillers who we can get. So I believe, when Deshaun got free from the indictment situation, like I don't think we were ever in the conversation. Okay. We were never in the conversation for some of these guys. Some of these guys weren't gonna go here. So the thing is, you look at who would come here and the teams that wanted the deal, and you say, well, out of those guys, who's the best? I'd take Carson Wentz over Mitch Trubisky, even though I'm a Tar Heel through and through. I'll take Mitch Trubisky over Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll take Mitch Trubisky over.
I'm not taking Mitch over Jimmy G. I ain't doing that, bro. Jimmy G done took you to the dance, bro. I'm not. Sorry.
I mean,
I gotta put a little bit of respect on Jimmy's name, bro.
I mean,
Jimmy a henchman.
Carson only missed the end of the season in the playoffs that year. I mean, he took them through.
Okay. Look, let's stop this real quick.
Did he not?
The Eagles sold out and bought every major free agent that they could to that team. Okay. So it wasn't as if Carson was carrying that team. They were winning because they were running the football. And then in midseason, as they were getting good, they traded for Jay, and he helped them get over the hump. All right. So let's not act like Carson was like this magic maestro just because the team got to a Super Bowl, because they won it without him. And they won every playoff game without him. You hear me? All right. So I don't want to diminish your hope. I don't want to do that.
No,
I know you got some hope. No. His team went to the Super Bowl, but he didn't. All right. Okay. He was on the bench.
So Jimmy Garoppolo ain't had nobody when he took them to the Super Bowl, what, 2 years ago?
Jimmy's team isn't predicated on him throwing the ball. Jimmy's teams are predicated on them running the ball and playing solid defense. Jimmy isn't the X factor for that team. Stop it. That's why they've been having trade talks for him for the last 2 years.
So how is he better?
He's better because he's.
Oh, no, hold on. Listen,
he's better. Hold on. I'm gonna get you there. He's better because he's not turnover prone. He doesn't always get in the way. Carson Wentz gets in the way. Carson Wentz derails the game plan trying to improv on things. And I told you this 2 weeks ago. If he throws 30 plus times a game, he typically loses. All right. Because he tries the gunsling and went on his arm. Jimmy stays within the system. He ain't going to do more than that. He might give you a little less sometimes, but Jimmy's going to stay within the system. And that's my only thing about Jimmy. He's going to be consistent. He's going to give you what's best for the system, but he's not going to be the X factor to get you over the hump. Carson just tries to do it on his own, and it looks bad a lot.
All right. Well, Carson is better than him. Carson is better than than Baker Mayfield, in my opinion.
I agree.
And like, so when you look at going to get a quarterback, those other guys I mentioned were the option, minus Baker at that time, but those guys were the option. So I'm like, and I'd even give you that he's not better than Garoppolo. Okay, so maybe he's not better than one of the quarterbacks, but he's better than the rest. He's better than Jameis, in my opinion. So like,
Yeah, he's better than Jameis.
If they want to come to the dance, take them. Okay. If you wasn't in the mix for the big guys, you weren't in the mix for Russell Wilson, you weren't in the mix for Deshaun Watson, you weren't in the mix for Aaron Rodgers, you weren't in the mix for none of those guys, that's fine.
Would you have taken Carson or Teddy Bridgewater?
Carson.
Okay.
And that's no shade to Teddy, because I like Teddy. I just think Teddy hasn't been the same after he had that injury, and he's had a bum rap the rest of the way, and he just hasn't been able to get on. Like I think he needs time, like in a system, to like really show if he can play or not, because he's been a stopgap these couple places that he's been, and I don't know if he'll ever get a true chance to be like a number one, like again. Mm-hmm. But I think Carson is better. And then when you go back to it, the way this team now is set up, Ron Rivera, he's not no young flamboyant coach.
No,
he is based on like, look, we need some order, we need some structure, we need a quarterback, and even if he isn't the best player, he has good leadership skills. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think Carson is a good leader. Now, based upon what they said last year, they had some issues. Yeah, he may have had issues with upstairs, but in the locker room, he didn't have no issues with them guys. All them tweets he got, they're going to miss him, blah, blah, blah. He rocked with those guys. You know what I'm saying? So he's a leader. He had an issue in Philly at the end of this. Okay. But
he learned his lesson in Philly.
Right. And it could have been anything at that time. But I mean, the guy's a good player. And I think in the meantime, for what we were able to get, I think he'll be fine. Okay. He came in, had his press conference, said all the right things, in my opinion. He's excited to get working. And I think this, with some stability at the quarterback position, I think your draft perspective now changes, right? You lose a couple pieces on defense. You lose Matt Ioannidis. You able to, I was watching the game too. You able to get back JD McKissick, and that's a whole nother story with that.
Hey, man, that was crazy this week or what?
Wow. You able to get him back. You signed Norwell from the Jags, who has Panthers ties, who has played in a career 111 of 112 games. So his best ability is availability. You see what I'm saying? So like that's key. So now the draft perspective kind of changes, right? You say, okay, we might go receiver at 11. We might go defense. They were able to re-sign some of their secondary, like Slim. Your thing changes. I think they'll still draft a quarterback. I want to say maybe third or fourth round, they'll draft somebody to get in there and, push Heineke a little bit. But Slim, you got some stability at the top of your roster, at your top position with quarterback. Now your draft perspective can change. You can kind of focus on that. And they still might even bring somebody in, because there's a couple pieces out there. Bobby Wagner's still out there. I don't know if he'll come, but who knows? Still some pieces that they might fill and plug a few holes with that. But I'm okay with the move. I'm okay, because the one main thing that we said that we needed was quarterback stability. And the thing last year that we didn't have with Heineke was the fact was he made some plays. It was elusive, but he can't make the throws. He can't make the professional throws.
Yeah, he can't make the throws.
I was talking to someone today that asked a specific question, asked about De'Ami Brown, because I watch a lot of Carolina film when he was there, and I watched all the games last year. So they said, why didn't De'Ami blow up last year? Well, he wasn't as healthy as he could be, and what De'Ami does in his game, the strength of his game is 7, 8, and 9 routes. So things over the top, late developing routes off play action, things like that. And if you don't got a quarterback that can get you the ball, then he's not going to be able to shine. Even that one big play that he had against y'all, and that route that y'all beat us up on, that was an underthrown ball. He had to adjust and come back and get the ball. So like, a good quarterback throws that out there. He lay it out there. I seen a couple throws of Carson last year where he was putting the ball on the money, and that's what you need. Also, with this signing, right, or with this trade, you kind of show Terry McLaurin and say, look, all right, we may not have Deshaun Watson. We may not have Russell Wilson, may not have Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, or anybody else, but we got something stable that we can build, and we want you to re-up with us, right? So if they can get that done sooner than later, then that's one less thing they got to worry about at the end of the year. Okay. So I think overall the deal was good. Got the morale of the fan base back. Once people step back from jumping off the ledge, myself included, I went and looked at the film because Eye in the Sky don't lie. You look at the film and you look at how he played last year. I'm good with this. This is better than what we had. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with it. From the outside looking in, on your perspective, what is your initial thoughts on this whole first wave of Carson coming in, other than him not being better than Jimmy Garoppolo? But what's your first wave of how you think he might do with us next year?
Yo, y'all got the second best quarterback in the division. Dak is still the guy. And I'm not trying to be a Cowboy homer, but I just think I've always had the Dak over Wentz, even with the draft and how they performed over their first 4 years.
You won't find anybody that'll argue that.
Yeah, that rivalry. Yeah, I'm excited to see that rivalry again, honestly. But in my opinion, man, I think Carson is a good fit for y'all. Y'all are looking for somebody who can push the ball downfield a little bit. Scary Terry is going to benefit from having a quarterback like Carson. Carson will be able to get him the ball if you use him properly. Run the ball, get some heavy play action, and then have Scary just, running all types of crossing routes, get him in some misdirection, get him in space, let him make some plays, and y'all can do some damage. I will say that this move helps your cap. That thing again, because you can actually start piling some of that money up so that you can make some splashes next season. In my opinion, I would say let him play here this year and look for your guy next year. Draft your quarterback next year. I don't think that this draft class has a quarterback who's worthy of like that first round pick, in my opinion.
Unless he balls out and plays ridiculous this year. Then
depending on where he goes and what system he's in, all that matters. But just off of just sheer talent right now, I'm not seeing like that front runner. This quarterback is the number one pick in the draft. I don't see that for this class. So I would hold off. I would show up this defense. I would add some a big body wide receiver to go opposite of Scary. And then get your run game going, bro, because that's what y'all really going to need. And that's going to help travel over time. As the season gets longer, you playing 17 games now, you need your run game to be like potent. So I think you can make some moves with him. I would consider you all a playoff contender with Carson. I can definitely put you in the mix for that. I'm not going to totally diminish Carson like that, but y'all could be in the mix for a playoff spot, just like he was last year. He just couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah. And listen, with the way the NFC is shaking out, like I said, man, you just play solid. Like you can get in the dance. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, just win 9 games. If you can get the 9 next year, I don't know, man. The Eagles are gonna be if the Eagles have a good draft class, bro, it could be a real tough route for everybody in the division.
And they still got all them picks, bro. They wasn't in.
Bro, they got 3 first-round picks, and I am not happy about that. So they can do some damage, and it's all within like the top 25. So it's like, bro, like this is crazy.
So I want to harp back to a point that you mentioned. Okay, you mentioned how there is no front runner for this draft class, and as we've put out some feelers when we talked with Mike Callow a couple of weeks ago, and as we've been reading and kind of seeing how everything has shaken out. They don't seem too excited about this quarterback draft class, as you can tell by these moves being made, right? Like teams are like, look, if we can get a guy, we're going to get him because we don't see it in the draft. By now, in previous drafts, if there was like top 2, 3, 4 guys, draft picks would have been moving. Okay, but they haven't been moving up. They haven't been trying to acquire draft picks to get to the top of the draft. Everything right now is still set. Now, as I say this on a Friday night, who knows what will happen over the weekend and on Monday. And by the time next time we record and show this episode, I could be lying. You know what I'm saying? But it's been proven that, this draft class is not what we may have originally thought it would have been. And I say that because we are going to do a mock draft in these couple episodes.
Hey, I'm with it.
We're gonna have a few guests that can really speak to this quarterback class from a few different perspectives. And we're gonna get into that and dive into that because I'm curious, man. Like, it's one of them got to hit, bro. One of them got to hit.
Well, we say that, right? You say that, but then we do have draft classes where the quarterbacks Did not hit.
But you don't think it's one in there? You don't think somebody got the big joker? You don't think somebody?
It depends on where you go, bro.
Yeah.
It depends on where you go. If you go into a team that's built, that's ready to win, and you just got to come in and not mess it up, sure. But right now, all the AFC teams are stacked right now, right? For the most part. What AFC team are you going to go to where you can actually go and win and you don't have everything right for you? So that would be Miami, New York, and both of them have quarterbacks already. You got Tua, you got the kid that got drafted last year in New York in the Jets. All right, so where else do you go? Houston is in rebuild mode, bruh, and they looking real bad right now. So where else do you go?
I want to break some news to you right here, okay? I want to break some news to you right here. On this purple piece of paper, I have wrote down where I believe my quarterback out of North Carolina, Sam Howell, will go.
Where do you want him to go? Or
No.
Versus where you think he's going.
This is where I believe he's going to end up, okay? And I'll show it right after this commercial break. It's like, no, I ain't gonna do it like that. I hit it last week like that. No, I say this. Sam Howell will go to the Titans. I believe he will go to the Titans. I'm gonna put it back right here.
Why you call Titans?
I don't know, because I kind of feel like that's the perfect place for him. I definitely believe the Titans are gonna draft a quarterback, right? But I feel like, all right, Tannehill is still serviceable. The team is still good. Maybe one season he can sit and be ready to go next year. But for whatever reason, I'm just seeing this in this crystal ball, right? In this in this milk dud head of mine. Sam Howell will be the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. I believe it. And partly because they have the same color scheme. But I believe no, I just been thinking about it lately, and I just been thinking about where he might be the best fit. And I could feel like second round pick, like they might scoop him up. But we said all that to say the NFL is not going to stop, bro. The draft is still another month away. The regular season starts in 6 months, bro. There's gonna be another deal happening soon, bro. There's gonna be another deal happening very soon. I don't know who, I don't know when and where, but something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be like, I did not see that coming.
I mean, it's going to be some stuff to happen. I mean, we still have a couple valuable free agents still out there to get signed, so there'll be some more news to break. Like you said, the draft is right around the corner. Y'all are sitting at what, pick 11?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pick where we got Micah Parsons. So but there's no Micah Parsons in this draft. Sorry,
Nakobe Dean.
Nakobe Dean is a beast, though. I do like Nakobe. Nakobe is on my draft radar. Just as a Cowboys fan, I'm looking at him, looking at a couple of the guards like Kenyon Green, maybe a receiver, because I'm okay with taking another receiver in the first round at this point.
What pick y'all got in the first round?
24.
You know who I want at 11? Olave at Ohio State.
I like Olave. I like him a lot.
I feel like he might be there. If he's there, I feel like he'll
be there. I mean, how many wide receivers do you see going in the top 10?
I don't know, because I haven't looked at the draft mock
with
draft.
this class. It might be like 1 or 2 that go like top 15.
And I heard some reports that saying if Sauce is there, take him. But I don't even think he'll make. I mean, bro, I was able to watch some of his footage and watch him at the combine, and bro, like the dude is in tip top shape. The dude plays ball and he's rangy. Like the year of the short 5'9", 5'10" corners are done, bro. You gotta be 6 feet tall or better to play corner in this league to match up with these receivers. I mean, Jalen,
you need length, you need some range.
So you gotta have some size to be able to have some reach, be able to get out, get that punch, and have them long arms. So those years of them little corners are done. But I mean, who knows, bro? It's a crapshoot. And I think once you kind of figure out what teams are doing at the top, because remember, like I think we mentioned it. We said, what are the Lions truly going to do at that number 2 pick? Are they okay with Jared Goff, or do they want to go ahead and get your man Hutchinson? Even though I think I did read something that he went down at his pro day. Am I not mistaken? I don't know if
that was Ojabo.
Was it? Okay. Let's hope. Look, man,
I hope I said my man name right. My bad, bro.
I hope everybody stay on their feet, bro. Because
them pro days can be scary when you see them injuries, bro.
Pro
like
day,
that's your career. Just your draft stock just drop, bro.
But Lee, let me tell you something, man. By the next time we broadcast, who knows what will happen? We might have emergency podcasts in between. Who knows, bro? I think so. If we do, make sure you're here. Make sure you're
here. Make sure you're locked in because we're gonna break the news for you. Hopefully, if my Cowboys do something, I can share some news with y'all on Twitter. Follow me once again at the real DA_Lee. Once again, the real DA_Lee. For some breaking news about my Cowboys, bro. That's all I talk about on there. I don't talk about nothing else.
And of course, you can follow your boy, DH_MVJOR. That's DH_MVJOR. Hit us up on Twitter for all your latest news and notes. And of course, you can subscribe to the DND Football Podcast page on YouTube, where we're going to have daily, and let's not say daily. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll have, that, you know, we won't do that yet, bro. We will have football content for all the football heads out there. And listen, I'm telling you, the production staff is working hard on getting some illustrious guests for you guys. I'm telling you,
working behind the scenes.
You're gonna want to be here because some of the exclusive guests and some of the information that you're gonna get from this podcast, you're not getting anywhere else. And I can promise you that because I haven't gotten this information from anybody else. But you're gonna have some illustrious exclusive guests that can only be heard right here on the DND Football Podcast. So I suggest if you're watching right now, you hit that subscribe button. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you like and share with a friend. Say, hey, they got all the latest news and notes on the NFL. Okay, so get on it. All right. Anything before we get out of here, Lee? What you got?
Hey, bro, I just want to say, Cowboys Nation, hang in there. We know that the first week of free agency is not our week. We will start dumpster diving this weekend. So, we just started doing some moves this week. And I told folks, like, it was Tuesday. Like, free agency started. We about to, no, we not. We're going to wait to the end of the week. And then over the weekend, we're going to start making moves into the weekend. So, and we just made 2 moves today. We got Dante Fowler, who reunites with Dan Quinn. It's not a Randy Gregory upgrade necessarily, but it's, it's a spot filler, if you will. And then James Washington from Pittsburgh. And hopefully, they don't throw Dak under the bus too much. But it is what it is at this point.
And my Commanders fans tuning in, appreciate you for tuning in and checking us out. Listen, stay strong. Take command and keep it moving. And
take what?
Take command.
Take this, bruh.
Take command. You N-word. Let me stop. We did good this podcast. No bad words.
Hey, great. Bro, we did good. We're professionals. Yeah, we're professionals.
We're ready to take the grand stage. So
ready. We're ready for the airwaves.
Make sure you guys get on and like, subscribe, share, and say you were here first. Say you were here at the beginning.
First.
At the inception of this tag team duo taking the world by storm, taking the NFL by storm, leaps and bounds. I'm telling you. You want to say you were here first.
Yeah, and shout out to Edward Thomas. We see you leaving comments, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Ed. Listen, guys, you want to be first to check out this podcast, but you want to be back next week to check it out again. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace, love, blessings, and success to your team if they're the Commanders.
Bye. Good stuff.